Today is a warm day, and the thing is probably 80 degrees. So I'm not used to 80 degrees. It's been cold, but I'm out in the afternoon now instead of the daytime. Haven't recorded in quite a while. Being I just didn't. Yeah, I just did not spend the time that I needed to spend in order to get ready to record. I usually only had like an hour, so I just wanted to get out and ride around for a bit. And then not have to worry about the recording stuff. The getting out is the most important part of the trip. So today I'm on my wired cruiser. I haven't really introduced this bike because me and it are not having a good time together. I got the wired cruiser because I thought it would be good in order to help me get up hills. Well, it turns out it is good to help me get up hills. But that is actually the only thing that I've gotten out of this bike. Everything else has been a problem for me. Well, not everything. There's a couple of other good things. One of the things it's very good at is its ride is pretty comfortable. It handles bumps very well. Better than any of my other bikes. So that part's good. But actually, the positioning of the handlebars to my body is actually pretty good. So, with the one of the things the bike does, it has a place for your palm to rest, and the way I have it set up is just perfect for my palm to rest, which is better than my Venton, which it's not the best. So. People. Don't normally see people through here. Wait. One of the things that you just saw as I went up that hill, it's not a struggle at all. Now, that's not one of the toughest hills I have to go against. So I think maybe I'll drive over there and show you how it does on that hill. But for a bike that handles hills very well, this bike does. So I had no complaint about that part. Now, I have a lot of other complaints, such as the chain catches frequently. It's just not right. There's something wrong with the chain and how it's set up. I took it to a bike shop and had them look it over, and they said it's perfectly fine. So the problem that it's giving me is, I guess, part of the design. It feels like it's going to jump off the thing all the time. Now, for me, it hasn't jumped off. I have seen other people who have this bike whose chain has jumped off. Mine hasn't, but it does give indications every now and then that it's going to, which is worrisome. The biggest problem I have with this bike is what we're doing right now, is that I have to stop. And it weighs more than I can hold up just about. Now my Venton weighs about 105 or so pounds when I carry in my second battery and all my stuff. But this bike starts off heavier than that. And balancing it is a little bit tougher. I have a tougher time. So the main thing I got for the bike, and I wasn't considering the weight, but when you stop at a stop sign, and you have to put your feet down, if it's slanting in any direction, the bike tries to throw you on the ground. I don't like being thrown on the ground. And then the steering on this thing is really much harder to turn. If you're turning left or right, it doesn't matter which direction. It's harder. In my particular case, it's harder to turn. It's slightly harder to turn left than it is right. They're not exactly even. But in any case, it's just generically harder. So if you've been riding one of my other bikes and I switch to this one, it just feels so different how much harder it is to turn left and right. Some people may not notice this because I hadn't heard anybody in our review talk about it being harder to turn left and right. But I definitely notice it. I don't know if you could have heard that just then, but it was the chain once again slipped. Didn't fall off. It just skipped and moved slightly weirdly. That's the reason I took it back to the bike shop, because I was like, that can't be normal. You can't have your chain slipping all the time. But apparently they said it is. That's just the way it is. So I think they should have made this the chain better. I would have liked it lighter. But you know, the fact that it can go faster might be the reason why it's heavier, to hold up the stress of hitting heavy bumps and stuff. The shock system it has is very good. I like the way it handles bumps. As I hit different types of bumps or fall into a hole or anything like that, it does it very well. It's better than my Aventon. A whole lot better than the electric. The electric is terrible at bumps. You switch to either the Aventon or this wired to the electric 3.0, and you have run into a very bumpy bike. Just riding down the street, it's bumpy. Now I watched the videos on it, and people in the videos say that it's not bumpy. But I think that's because they don't know what not bumpy is. Because if you ride the wire, there you know what not bumpy is. If you ride the Aventon, you know what not bumpy is. The Electric XP, definitely bumpy. But for its purpose, its portability and stuff, that's fine. I don't mind the bumpiness because I plan to use it when I travel. Not so much for riding around the neighborhood. That's what the Aventon and what the wire was supposed to be. The wire is supposed to help me ride around my neighborhood and handle all the big hills. The speed, I don't know how fast it'll go. The fastest I've ever been on it, I think, is 32. And that was the very first time I was out on the bike, and that was also my crash. I only got 36 miles on my bike. So I've had it since, October? So yeah, I don't ride this thing much or very far. So maybe part of my review is the fact that, I just haven't ridden it enough to get used to it. But because it's heavy and a little awkward to turn, I don't want to ride it. It makes me not want to get on it. So I'm trying to give it a chance. So today I'm riding it to try to give it a chance. Now, I like the Aventon's trigger shifters. The trigger shifters to me are the best. What this bike has is something different. It feels like every time I use it, I'm breaking the bike. I don't like it at all. I hate it. The electric 3.0 also has the exact same type, well, maybe not exact, but if not exact, very similar setup. I don't like it either. Both of them are very, very awkward for me to use. The trigger shifters are fun to use. I enjoy them. They're really good. That could be a personal preference. But I do feel like this one here is something I'm planning on breaking every time I use it. I just feel like I'm ripping it apart, that I'm forcing it to do stuff. The trigger shifter has a little clicky thing. As you click it, it moves, you click it, you move, you click it. So I just like the way that works better. It feels better for me, and it makes me happier. So when you're on a bike, you kind of like to be happier. You don't want to be sad or fearful that you're breaking the bike. Since I'm kind of heavy, I feel like sometimes I overdo things and make things tougher than they need to be. So to my right here is the worst hill in my neighborhood. So we're not going to take that one. We're going to take the second worst hill that I know about in my neighborhood and see how I do. The problem that I have with this is that if you don't make it up the hill, I'm probably just going to fall and then roll down the hill because the bike's so heavy that I can't catch it. So it makes me a little weary of taking a ride up a hill if I don't think I'm going to make it. So we're going to try the second hardest. This is the first time I've ever tried this hill, so y'all get to be with me when I try this hill. I suspect it'll make it without any issue because it is powerful, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, so it's in the gear 2 for me. I got the throttle on full. It's putting out 3,000 watts of power to get up here. And yeah, it's not that big of an issue. I'm going 13. So the second worst hill, it can make it up without an issue. Now when I'm on my Aventon carrying my dog, I have to struggle very, very much. I'm in first gear and I'm pushing very hard, but I can make it up it. The next hill we're going to try is the worst hill. I think it's 18 degrees. And according to the Garmin. So So we just circle around. It's down that way, but we won't go down it. I want to go up it. So we'll circle around, try it again. Hopefully I make it, or you get to see me have my second wreck on this same bike. Now that hill, what reason I think I'm going to be on a wreck is if I can't make it up it, I have to jump off the bike, and I don't think I got the strength to hold it. If it's leaning. If I could jump off of it and it'd be perfectly even, maybe I could hold it well enough to get away from it and watch it fall. But I don't think I can push it up the rest of the hill. I have to try to turn it around and go down the hill, but I'm not sure I would have the stability with my knee issues and stuff to be able to pull that off either. So I'm hoping we'll make it up the hill. I won't have any problems. I feel more confident that this bike can make it up that hill. Fairly confident. I don't have 100% confidence. All right, I want to turn off to the left here somewhere. You'll see that this hill is a very big hill. I'm not sure how well y'all can see this, but you know, it's almost dropping straight down. So yeah, not a hill you'd want to be on if there was ice on the road. One of the things that happened was that the tree fell and cars piled up on that thing when the hurricane came through back in October, November. That was a bit of a disaster for anybody that was trying up and down that hill. They were trying to figure out different ways out of this neighborhood because there were trees all over the place that were falling down. Oh man, I'm running across the garbage truck several times now. It's taking the same path I'm taking. What's with that garbage truck? Here, let me go this way so they don't create trouble for me. Gonna make my ride longer, but that's okay. One of the things I like about the bike is that I can go up these hills like this without hurting my knees. Unlike the XP 3.0, my extensions on this bike are perfect. I'm able to perfectly extend my knee where it doesn't hurt. The XP, I can't quite get it, so my knees hurt a little bit when I'm trying to push myself up really heavy or high hills, steep hills. My knees don't like it. But the Vinton works out well, and this bike here also works out well, me pedaling up steep hills. As far as my knees go, my knees can handle it. Now the setting I have on this is that if I use the throttle, I can put full power in it. If I'm not using the throttle, it's dependent on what gear I'm in, of how much power it gives me, how many wattage. So, when I'm in gear 1, it only gives like 300 watts. It is the max it can give. So I like the settings that they have for that, where you can determine how much power to give in each of the gears. But I can always override it by using the throttle. Now, I'm the type of person that doesn't like using a throttle unless I have to. And the two places I use throttle is when I first start from a stop and when I'm going up a hill. So here we are getting ready to head up a very steep hill. So I think I'll try to bring the pedaling down. So this is how I dislike the pedaling. I feel like I'm breaking it as I'm doing this. So I'll take it all the way down to 1. All right, so let's see if we can make it up this hill. Life's going to be tough. Probably. We'll see. All right, so here we go. All right, so this is the tough part we're hitting right now. I'm still going 14. I'm using 3,200 watts. And I'm still going. I'm going to 12. 12, still 12. Yep, 12 is the low as it went. So, yay. That's a successful test. It did exactly what I was hoping this bike would do, which is get me up an extremely steep hill. So, yeah, I can't. See, that's one of the good things about the bike. So even with all the things I dislike about it, it does have that advantage. Now, to talk about other things on the bike, if you notice, it squeaks a lot. And I guess that's a combination of things. The battery, where it's stationed, is not a silent battery. It's a squeaky battery. As it bounces up things, it makes squeaky noises. I've seen people try to fix it by putting strips of styrofoam or something under there. And I guess that would temporarily work, but it also seemed like it would help the battery to be hotter. So I'm not sure that's a good idea. So right now I'm living with the squeaking. Also, the metal fenders, they don't squeak, but when the rocks from the road bounce up against it, they ping. So I kept pinging. So I thought I would like metal better, but it's because I didn't think it through. Turns out plastic is better, because plastic does not ping as you're riding through. Now it comes with a pretty good horn. Bell. You see the bells. The bell works pretty good. I like the bell. So there's definitely things I like about it. I changed out the seat when I first got it. So I have a cloud 9 seat. So I haven't really gone far enough in my travels to tell you that my seat's good. We had that first time I took it out where I drove about 12 to 15 miles, and I did okay with it at that point, so it's probably okay. But all my rides since then have been short rides of 5 miles. So that's the reason I only got, well, I got less than 40 miles. Even now I got less than 40 on it. So most of the days when I go out, I want to take my dog with me. So I usually take the Aventon because the dog carrier is hooked up to the Aventon. And so, and he's still a puppy. He's only 9 months old now, but man, does he love bike rides. He sometimes thinks I'm tricking him when we go out to the garage and he's all excited and he jumps into his pet trailer so he can go on a ride. And I tell him, nope, we're going in the car this time. Oh man, he doesn't like car rides. He hates cars. Loves the riding on the bike. In the bike trailer, hates riding in the car. I mean, he really hates it. He runs the other direction whenever he notices I'm opening up a door. So I really like going with the Aventon because I got the trailers attached to it, and he's so excited. He loves it so much, and he sits up like he's the king and rides through. And even when dogs come running up to me and barking at me and snipping at my heels, he just sits there calmly and just enjoys the movie. He goes, yeah, this is good action. Now, if the dog could just bite you, that would improve the action. So, I don't know what he's thinking. But he doesn't get all anxious and run around and bark at the dog. He just sits there and looks at him. So, I'm not sure what he's thinking. This bike riding at this time of the day, this is, I think the school's getting ready to get out. Or maybe the school's already been out. Yeah, let's see, it's nearly 4, so I guess the school's already been out. All right, so what else about the bike? One of the things that I get about the bike is that and this might be how the tire got installed, but the tire that I got on this doesn't roll exactly perfect. If you look at it, you can see it wobble slightly. Now, when I talked to the bike people and told them that, they just said that's how the tire was made, that it's not totally perfect. I don't know if that's true or false, but I don't have a way to disprove it, so I guess we'll go with that fact. Now, I don't think it disturbs me in any way, but when you're staring at it, you can see it looking like it's wobbling, or just very slightly as it goes down, but it is some. So that's a little concerning to me. I haven't noticed how it affects anything, though. The tire isn't the reason why I can't turn. It's not the reason why it makes it hard to turn left or right. So that's not the reason. However, the bike is made, it makes it hard to turn left and right. Now, I think, since I've done research, I think maybe it's related to when they first put out the wire, they had wobbling issues if you let go of your steering wheel and was trying to ride without your hands touching the steering wheel. So they added something to it to try to prevent that from happening. And I think that thing they added is what makes it harder to turn left and right. That's just a theory. I don't really know. Maybe somebody can comment to me and let me know if for sure that's the reason why it's harder to turn. I think all wired bikes ship with it now. Maybe since July of last year, 2024. Well, I'm pretty happy about my heel test. The fact that I made it and it didn't fall. That's always a good sign. Not falling, that is. And I really wanted it to be able to make it uphill, so I finally got over my fear of trying it. So, well, I don't know if I got over my fear of trying it, but I tried it even with the fear. One of the things you got to worry about is when you're over 70 and you fall, that could be disastrous for you. So you really don't want to fall. So I've gotten stories that's been put in my chat where all sorts of bad things have happened to people who just fell. Even totally, completely stopped bike fall and break something. So if I can avoid falling, that's a good thing. Now here's a stop. I hate stops because then I have to do a start. And stopping and starting is where my chance of accidents can happen, because I'll just fall over. I'm very conscious of that now, so I struggle a little bit harder to make sure I don't fall when I'm stopped. But I have fallen when I was stopped on a hill. There's my chain doing its bad stuff again. So this is very smooth. Just going through here, no bumping at all. The XP I just took out yesterday, and it bumps all over the place. It's all bouncy. Not this. This is just smoothly, like the roads doesn't have any bumps in it. Oh, very nice. Guys, you notice it more when you switch from the driving the electric XP 3.0 and switch into the wire cruiser. Yeah, none of the other hills in the area that I ride my bike are as steep as the one that I just took, so I don't have to worry about any of these being something I should be afraid of. Although I am feeling pretty good about myself making it up that hill. Although I guess I should be feeling good about the bike making it up the hill, not me. I guess I'm feeling good about me not chickening out. The brakes on here are good too, so I do have another comment that's positive about the bike. The brakes are good. I have not had any issues at all with the brakes. The brakes have worked perfectly from day one, and I've done different type of stoppings. And they always worked extremely well. Even a quick stop, they evenly pressurize and slow me down really quick. So as heavy bike this is, good brakes are important. So that's good. I still overall wish I had not bought this bike. I kind of have buyer's remorse now, and wish I waited until I found a bike that was more the type of bike I was looking for. And so I'm trying to keep my eye out now for a bike that's light and also has a lot of torque. So I'm looking for a light, high torque bike that can go 100 miles. Now they are having some really good technology advances in batteries. They won't be active in the market probably for a year or two, but they have some really good ones. They're a whole lot lighter and a lot more power. So that'll be the future. So e-bikes in a couple of years are going to be really longer distance and lighter. Right now the batteries are pretty heavy. Anywhere between about 12 pounds and 20 pounds. So, yeah, heavy. I also read some articles recently that talked about some of the popular brands of e-bikes are having financial issues. Now, I haven't been able to prove that, but so I'm keeping an eye on it to find out if it turns out to be true. Some of the popular brands too, it'd be sad if we lose some of the popular brands. But competition for e-bikes are so many, usually you're going to end up losing somebody when there's competition so high. And the tariff situation is probably not going to help any. Now, most of y'all who follow me know that I don't normally drive even past 15 miles per hour. I almost have to be heading down a hill to go faster than about 12 or 13. So, yeah, even with this bike, I pretty much ride the same way. I want to enjoy the ride. I want to enjoy the scenery. I'm not trying to get to point A to point B as fast as possible. This bike, I guess, would give me the opportunity to do it faster than my other two bikes, but if I got to be somewhere, I usually take my car. If I was riding on the highways though, which I try not to do too often, yeah, I will go faster. But I found out before that on a bike going 30, 32 is a little bit scary. So even though I could go faster, maybe go up to 40, I don't think I ever will, because it starts being scary going downhill at 32, so which I've done on my Inventon before. So I don't think I will just ride at 32 somewhere, because that's not so good. Now this right here is one of the worst type of stop signs. If y'all can tell, it's on a nice hill, and if I have to stop, there's a high chance I'll fall. So I don't want to stop here. And what I try to do is get onto the sidewalk here and then cross over. And right now I don't have a car behind me, so I'm not going any faster than, oh, here I am 16, going downhill a little bit, so I'm up to 18. Anyway, this should get you caught up a little bit on me, a minor review of the Wire Cruiser and how an over 70-year-old thinks about it. Maybe a weak over 70-year-old. It's amazing when it first talked about it, I realized it weighed like 125 pounds. I don't remember what it weighs now, but I remember it weighed a lot. And I was thinking, I don't think that'll make that much of a difference. Yeah, I was wrong. It makes a big difference. Going from 75, 78 pounds to 125, yeah, big difference, big difference. Mainly when you're stopped or starting. Especially in getting off your bike if you're on a hill, geez. There's all sorts of times where the heaviness creates issues for someone in my condition. But anyway, I thought I'd give a little bit of update so y'all know what's going on with me. That I'm still around, still riding. Not riding this bike, this bike very often, but out with my dog frequently. Maybe I'll get another video out soon with my dog. I may do a bit more research on the stability of some of the bike companies. I do have an accounting degree. I am a CPA, so if I can get a hold of some of their financials, I can tell how they're doing, be able to explain what's going on. Hey there. So until next time, it was good getting caught up with everybody. Leaving some comments and let me know what's happening would be nice. And if some of the people know anything for sure about the bike companies, I know the names of a couple, but I don't really want to say them on here, so I'm not going to talk about them, because if it's wrong, I don't want any rumors get started. But if you happen to know something for sure, give me a link or show me where I can go search that out, and maybe I'll do my next bike ride, we'll talk about that.